All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I believe I will attempt to continue my comments on politics that I started this morning. Come on, you. There we go. Or whenever it was that I did it. So I've identified something like religion in my last video on this idea as what is happening in our political structure, because there is not, and here was the point I was trying to make, and I don't think I said it correctly. There is not a unifying structure. There is not a unifying structure, and without a unifying structure, then politics become that unifying structure. And so, in other words, I'm equating religion with the idea of a unifying structure. I think it's the best psychotechnology that has been developed thus far to do so, in that it is robust. It is still around. Like there are still people seeking religion, especially with the Jordan Peterson upgrade, if you will, to the idea of what religion is, or what spirituality could be, at least. But it still functions the same way, I think. I would argue that it is fundamentalist religion that is at the core of most problems between religion and culture, because fundamentalist religion attempts to distinguish itself from the culture to such a degree that it will react against things that it's really none of its business to react against. I mean, so there are fundamentalist religions which attempt directly to be the political structure of a society. Christianity was doing that for a time and has, for the most part, started to back away from that, but there has still been this idea of God tells us not to, God tells us not to have abortions, God tells us not to do this, that, or other, whatever it is, and so they attempt to legislate it. As opposed to just trying to make good arguments, right? They make it a religious thing. They could bring, reformulate their religion into a common dynamic, into a common argument and system, and speak of it to the commons and to, the culture at large, in a way that is respectable and is understandable and could sway people. Instead, it becomes this attempt to make religion, again, the law of the land. And I think that's a huge mistake. I also think the whole idea of trying to create a model of young earth creationism that is in opposition to science is a mistake. I don't think there is any reason, not any real good reason, that Christians ought to be young earthers, let alone, there's no reason for them to be anti-evolution, and certainly no reason for them to be young earthers. Evolution, it's maybe a thing, but so far as I can tell, there are degrees to which evolution is certainly the case. There are other degrees to which we can't even test it, right? Because we don't have that much time. We can try little experiments and that's it. Anyway, this is all beyond the point. I was trying to get to, I guess I was trying to make sure that I was clear on what I meant by religion. That I'm not anti-religion. I'm anti-fundamentalism. And that's after coming from a fundamentalist perspective. It turns out to be a force that was toxic to me in the long run, though it took a while for me to understand and accept that. and I would suggest that religion has or Christianity specifically has lost a lot of ground because of fundamentalism, because it tried too hard to tightly grip the culture instead of attempting to just embrace the culture. Not embrace it in a we're going to throw our morals out the window, but as in a way of, hey, we love you. Okay, you gay. Okay, we love you anyway. You are on your 5th marriage. Okay, we love you anyway. You know, whatever it is. You smoke. Okay, we love you anyway. I know that it's possible to make an argument that Jesus wouldn't be like that, but I think it's pretty hard to sustain that argument when you read the Bible with an open heart instead of merely looking to create a pharisaical, legalistic structure to bind people to your religion with. But that's my opinion, and you can discuss it with me if you wish. So, I think to step away from that and towards what I was more wanting to target in this one, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with a society that is almost religious in its political fervor and structure, in which the parties, as far as I can tell, are so religiously dedicated to their belief systems that they are willing to lose the election over it. And I mean, I'm kind of bitter about this. I don't want to see another Trump presidency. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% against the guy, but I'm not happy. I don't know what to think about him. I don't like trying to make a statement about him because I don't try to watch what he does. In fact, I'm basically so bitter about the entire state of our political structure that I can't even take him seriously. Even though he is worth taking seriously because of the fact that, you know, he has nukes at his disposal and stuff like that. Or at least in theory he does, right? I mean, could very well be that if he decided to try to nuke a small country, that he would find that the armed forces have a little more control over the nukes than he thinks than they have let him believe thus far. But anyway, he still can do a lot of potential dangerous things. I think he is doing more to divide than to build this culture. But then again, it is certainly the case that those on the left are not allowing him any way of rebuilding the culture, right? And every now and then he does something I like. I'll be honest. There are things he does that I like finally calling out the extreme leftist culture, the critical theorist types, the SJW types. I mean, he's finally kind of said, we're not doing that anymore. This is destructive. This is, he might have said un-American, which I don't know what I think about that either. I mean, speaking of un-American seems similar to saying unchristian. And yet, there is something to be said for that which unifies, right? I'm not against there being unity in America. I'm wanting unity in America. But right now, that unity is centered around, he might as well have said it's un-Republican, right? Because most Democrats are not going to agree with him because of the nature of his presidency and his attitude. And, well, I don't even understand all the dynamics at play. I don't know why he is so hated in some ways, honestly. I know he's disrespectful, but that doesn't mean we disrespect our president. And he is loudmouthed, and so much of that is just like, that's what the leftist politics result in, right? That kind of a backlash. And so I just think it's unironic that he is our president. Okay, I didn't get to my topic at all, which was, what are we going to do? So I don't think I'll delete. I think I will post this, even though it doesn't doesn't bear the kinds of fruit I was hoping to. Is there anything way I have time for anything else? Well, simply that I think we have to consider alternatives. I'm considering putting my videos up on YouTube again, or on Facebook again, so this one might actually be seen by people I know instead of philosophical friends on the internet, which makes me a slight bit nervous. But I'll say that I think we have to look beyond a two-party system. The idea that a third party you're just wasting your vote on is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? When everybody thinks it's a waste of their vote, then of course it's a waste of your vote, because people think it's a waste of your vote. It's the kind of idiotic rhetoric that is destructive, I think, truly destructive, because a third party could break the stranglehold and the strangle dynamic, this duopoly dynamic we have in our country right now. A third party could do that, but there are other strategies, and I guess I will discuss those other strategies in my next video. Thank you. This is kind of like the second in a trilogy of movies. You know how the second movie is never that great? That's what this video is. It's the second in a trilogy. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.